was, were able to. In this video, I tell you the difference between the use of could and was, were able to. Well, I guess you all know the modal verb can. I'm sure you know that word. And the past form of can is could. But there's also a second past form of can, and that is was, were able to. So, what can we make out of that piece of information? Or let me say that in a different way. What the hell is the difference between he could repair the car and he was able to repair the car? Before we go on, I want to make something clear. There are different meanings of could. Of course, could is a past form of can, but it is also used for polite questions like, could you give me the salt, please? And you can use could to talk about possible things like, it could rain later. But in this video, I only talk about the past form of can. So now let me explain when we use could and when we use was, were able to as a past form of can. Could is used when we talk about a general ability in the past. A general ability is eine generelle Fähigkeit. Was, were able to is used to talk about a particular achievement in a specific situation. In German, that is eine besondere Errungenschaft. I will give you some examples. Sarah had been training for years. Yesterday, she finally ran 1,000 meters in less than 4 minutes. To help you a little bit, I give you the German translation. Sarah hatte seit Jahren trainiert. Gestern konnte sie die 1.000 Meter endlich in weniger als 4 Minuten laufen. And here comes the second example. When Thomas was a small boy, he ran 1,000 meters in less than 3:30. Again, I give you the German translation. Als Thomas ein kleiner Junge war, konnte er die 1.000 Meter in weniger als 3 Minuten 30 laufen. Of course, the correct translation of konnte is missing in both sentences. In sentence number 1, the speaker talks about a specific situation that happened yesterday. So, Sarah achieved something very special. She had success when she tried to do something, and finally, she managed to do it. That's the reason why we need was able to. Now let's come to the second example. In this sentence, the speaker talks about Thomas' ability in the past. It is something Thomas could do several times. So, here we talk about a general ability, because it is not just one day or one particular moment that is being talked about. And that's the reason why we need could. You also can pay attention to signal words like yesterday or when Thomas was a small boy. Both such phrases and signal words can help you to find out whether you need could for a general ability or was, were able to talk about an achievement in a particular situation. Before we go on, I want to give you a little advice. It is also possible to use was, were able to talk about a general ability in the past. But pay attention. It is never ever possible to use could in order to talk about an achievement in a specific situation in the past. So let's come back to our example with that person who was repairing the car. So what is the difference then between he could repair the car and he was able to repair the car? When we say that he could repair the car, we talk about a general ability. When we say he was able to repair the car, we talk about an achievement in a specific situation. For the first sentence, we would say in German, war in der Lage, das Auto zu reparieren. And the second sentence would mean something like this. Es gelang ihm mit Mühe und Anstrengung in einer konkreten Situation, das Auto zu reparieren. Remember, you had that worksheet, and in task number 2, you had to explain the difference between these two sentences. And this is what I did for you now. I explained the difference between these two sentences. Let's come to task number 1 on your worksheet. Jack was an excellent tennis player when he was younger. This sentence is in simple past, so in the sentence afterwards you also have to use simple past, and there are two options. You can choose was able to or could beat. Now you have to ask yourself, is it a general ability that is being talked about, or is it an achievement in a specific situation? Something is being said about Jack when he was younger, and this tells us that it is a general ability, eine generelle Fähigkeit, that is being talked about when he was a small boy. And that's the reason why could beat is the correct option. The second example in task number 1. Jack and Andy played a match yesterday. Andy played well, but Jack... Again, we have to decide between the two options in simple past. So we have to decide between was able to beat and could beat. The second word yesterday again tells us that this is a specific situation, so it must be an achievement, and consequently was able to beat is the correct option. And now I have a little test for you to check your knowledge. The lady was already 90 years old, but she see very well. The traffic was a horror that morning, but the old lady crossed the road. Do you still remember which verb you need in order to talk about a specific situation, and which you need in order to talk about a general ability? For specific situations, you need was, were, able to. You never use could. And for the general ability, you use could, and you have the option to use was, were, able to. And if you like, you can press the pause button and think about the two examples above. And when you are done, you press play again. And then you can check whether you would have chosen the correct answer. Attention, attention, now I give you the correct solution. For example number 1, we can say that it is being talked about a general ability. In general, the lady had very good eyes. And that's why we use could here. And as I said, you have the option to use was able to. The second example. Here we talk about a specific situation. It is being talked about that particular morning. And that's the reason why we have to say that the old lady was able to cross the road. Remember, you are not allowed to use could. And now I hope that you do not feel like this, but that you feel like that.